past, I was all about the natural law helps me work on me. It helps me have a paradigm of life that's healthier, that's whole, that's aligned with reality, that helps me move forward personally. But now the game has changed. And it's not just about me personally or you personally. It's about it's about our society and our civilization. Because something is happening that's never happened before. And that is that instead of trying to align ourselves with what we know is right and true, we are trying to build a whole new morality that's man-made instead of God-made. And that's never happened before. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people who disagree with me on that and who say, oh, there's been pagan societies, there's been this, that, and the other thing. That's what I'm out to show you. So what we're going to do is start over. I'm going to start over. And I'm going to work to build the tools and resources that are necessary for you and your friends or neighbors or whoever is interested to begin to understand what this is all about, why it matters so much, and what we can do about it. What we can do about it personally, in our homes, in our neighborhoods, and eventually in our society and civilization at large. So I'm going to write a series of books. The first one is going to be something along the lines of the truth sets us free. The truth will set us free. The truth will set you and I free. And this podcast is going to be the place where I share with you what I'm creating as I go. The books that I'm using, the resources that I'm studying, the conclusions that I'm drawing, the chapters that I'm writing, in order to begin to lay a more solid foundation. And here's why. Because the message must take center stage. The message has always been in my heart, and the message has always been infused in every project that I've ever done. I've always talked truth. I've always talked principles. I've always talked about personal growth and using self-education, lifelong learning as a tool for personal growth in alignment with truth and principles. It's always been the central message of everything that I've done. Because I really believe that the world will be a better place when millions of people know and fight for truth. But they have to know it, and they have to be willing and able to fight for it. That means they have to understand the why of this message and the how of this message. And then they can figure out what they can do to infuse themselves in the culture. So together we put our houses in order, and then we heal the culture. And we do this by learning and being liberated by the truth and letting us set it free, letting it set us free. And this means learning what principles are, how they're part of the natural moral law, and you name it, there's principles for it. And this is something that I was saying way back when I was, Tea Party groups and principles of liberty. It's because there are principles of economics, and there are principles of government, and there are principles of personal relationships, and there's principles of relationships with God. There's principles of finance, there's principles of organization, there's principles of running a business. Like, these are all the principles that set us free because God has built an ordered world that runs according to His laws. And that is how He is always working with His children. So what are the key ingredients of this message? What needs to happen for us to have millions of people knowing and fighting for truth so that our culture can be truly healed? But I don't know if it's more importantly, but also that you and I can be set free and liberated through truth. First of all, we have to understand what's truly wrong. There's a lot of people out there who are confused. They're overwhelmed. They look around. They don't know what's happening. They don't recognize their own civilization. They don't know how to navigate it. They're having faith crises. They're struggling and limping along. They might think they know what's wrong, and there are multiple things that are wrong, but the fundamental foundation is being wrenched out from under our civilization, and that's the most important thing that's wrong. So they need to understand that that is what is wrong. Then we need to know what truth is and how it can fix things. And so that's going to take going through how the natural law has been delineated by philosophers and thinkers for thousands of years and getting all of those pieces right so that we really understand it. It doesn't mean that you have to slodge through all of the difficult resources that I'll be working in, but it means if you follow along with me on this podcast, you'll be getting a lot of resources and tools and quotes and connections that will help you understand what is truly wrong, why it's wrong, how the truth is the answer, how the truth can fix things. And then we've got to believe. We've got to believe that God works through this natural law with his children, and that you've got to believe, or your friend or your neighbor or your child has got to believe that they can become a discerner of truth. And that as they put in the work, because it's going to be work. I am not selling something easy. I'm selling something hard. I'm selling one of the hardest things in the world, and that is mental work. It's the thing that people shy away from the most and the quickest. And so if you're on board for some mental work, I'll walk you through the process. I'll help you understand the why, and I'll give you the how. But you have to stay with me, and then you will have the tools. So you've got to believe that God works through these natural laws, and I will show you the proof that that is true. Believe that he wants you as his child to be a discerner of truth, and believe that as you are a discerner of truth, that you can apply these truths. It will empower you to solve your personal problems in more solid ways that are more lasting. Then you've got to have the courage and faith to put in the work, to gain the skills to do this, to align your life, yourself, your family, your home with true principles, because the work begins at home first. You've got to work on you before you try to fix anyone else. And then, as your home gets put in better order, as you understand better who you are, as you live principles and they free you, then comes the confidence and later the conviction to reach outside yourself and fight with the truth and fight for the truth to make the world a better place. And that is where mission comes in. To discover and fulfill your unique contribution to the world, as my book, The Mission-Driven Life, talks about, by trotting the path of true servant leadership. That is the way that we partner with God to bless ourselves in the world. And that is the way in which all of these concepts are connected. And I'm going to connect them for you headed into 2024. That's what we're going to spend the year doing. It's going to be loads of fun. I have a foundation laid. We're going to focus on values of understanding truth, of belief and faith, of lifelong learning, of courage and conviction. We need more people to know the why. Why are things confusing? Why does our civilization seem unrecognizable? Why are they depressed? Why are they in so much pain? Why can't they seem to fix the problems that they face every day? Why are suicide rates up? Why is depression up? Why is our civilization seem to be struggling and suffering on such a huge level? And then with that why, be willing and ready to engage in the how. How do you understand the natural law? How do you find those true principles? How do you become a discerner of truth? You're a seeker of truth now. That's why you're here. You just need to become a discerner of truth so that the truth can liberate you. And when enough of us have done this, when enough of us have been willing to put in the work to walk this path, there will be a tipping point. It will and can radically change the culture. Person by person, family by family, community by community. The culture can be healed through a re-infusion of the truths of natural law that set us free. And that's what I'm setting out to do, to give you and anyone who's willing and ready to listen and to begin to engage, is to show you how the truth can make you free by beginning at the beginning and walking you down this path. As I study and write this first book in the coming year, So please join me for that. Please invite your friends and family that want to be part of this message and mission to liberate ourselves and to liberate others with truth. Have them join me on this journey, and we'll walk through this coming year all of these truths, how they work, why they matter, and how they can change your life. I know it works. I've seen it work, not just in my life, but with the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, but probably thousands of students at this point, definitely thousands and tens of thousands of people that I've spoken to over the years. Their lives have been radically changed by this message, and yours can be too, and our culture can be as well. So join me. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, wonderful holiday season. I will see you in the next year as we get started on this path and begin at the very beginning with what is the natural law. I'll see you then. Hey, are you ready to have the truth set you free? Head over to audreyrindlisbacher.com and get the Truth Seeker Starter Kit for free, where I walk you through the 5 steps for discovering and applying true principles to your life so you can experience their liberating power. See you there.